Kelly, are we the new bone collector for the show? Because, I mean, every time I turn around now, here you go, introducing an issue or trying to solve someone's problems or whatever. It's starting to get on my nerves now, girl. Okay? Okay. And I was liking you right about this point in time. Even if I ain't like you a whole lot and was jumping for joy, you was on my decent side. But you starting to work my nerve just a little bit. And if I hear this whole Porsha, Dennis, and Drew mess one more time, y'all. I mean, we are halfway through the season and we still are dragging this out. And I don't know about y'all, but for me, this was another doozy, another somewhat snooze fest. But I just came here to talk to y'all, okay? So we're going to make it do what it do and squeeze what we can from the mess. All right. So with that being said, what is going on, y'all? It's your girl, Taina B here, and welcome to my chat party. I'm so glad that you can join me for a little bit, a lot of bit. If you're here for the party fashionably early, fashionably late, again, I appreciate you so much just to hear my little thoughts, my little views, my little opinions on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. ATL shouted season 16, episode number 13. To those of you, because I saw that the guest list started guest listing again. Okay, listen, I know this whole YouTube thing can be like kind of wayward and up and down and all the things. You might have 10 people in one week and then a half a person another, like, yo, where everybody at? You know what I'm saying? Why y'all got my party looking empty? But I definitely saw that it was doing some things since my last video. So thank y'all so much from the bottom of my heart who decided to just join the VIP guest party list by subscribing. It is truly like extremely appreciated, more than you know. I definitely have to get back to my shadows. Like I said, I think I said that last time. Y'all have to forgive me. It has been a crazy week between now and the last time that I spoke to you guys. But I am going to make it my business to make sure that I shout out who I can, because I definitely saw it now. Because before I was telling you, I didn't really know if I could figure out who the new subscribers were. And I still really can't, but I see there's something at the screen that says subscribers. I don't know if it goes from most recent or not, but I'm going to read what I read. The next couple that I see, and I'll go back a few also, I will read. But I'm filled with gratitude for sure. And listen, for those of you who hit the dance floor, even if it's just two of y'all, my boy Spence, what's good? And Bravotv, mwah, you already know it's so much love. I appreciate you guys, and I know there's a ton of you that show love when you can. It's just it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Those of you who are like, listen, I don't do no dance floors, but I'll hit the like button and try to help you out, sis. I appreciate you. And for those who are just like, nah, I ain't doing none of that. I'll come peek in at the party with the viewership, but that's about it for now. I'll let you know later on if I'm trying to do something. It's all good. But let's go ahead and get into it, y'all, right? Because I mean, I guess I could still have some things to say. So we start off the scene with Shamia and her daughter Shia, and they're in the garage with boxes and bins of clothing, blankets, etc. And apparently they've gathered these items together to prepare to donate for Grenada when the girls go on their trip. And I said it was just shameful how much stuff there was, and y'all know it was too. Okay, don't make it seem like I'm crazy. I said, but at the same time, that's also so much stuff for those who will really need it. So I can appreciate that a lot. And I get the whole Shamia acknowledging that she doesn't want her daughters to grow up to be brats. I said, but girl, do you have to buy them all of that stuff? Like, is there any modesty involved in any of this? You know what I mean? Like, where's the limit? But spoken like a true tramp, I will say, over here who does not have sterling man or money, at least not yet. But I still will say, I feel like I can honestly just admit that living in excess just wouldn't be my thing. Because even now, I feel like I'm still blessed, okay? And it's not now. So, I mean, I can make some things shake and pop just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like my mom used to say, I can make a penny dance a little something. But even with that, it's just not my thing. So you don't know what you'll do until you're in the shoes. But I still feel like, nah, that would never be my thing. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm going to enjoy myself and treat myself, but to go overboard and crazy, nah. Anywho, so Kelli decides to pull up and she's got a truckload of water, which was great. We have a lady who comes and drops off Drew's donation. And I'm gonna blame y'all for what I'm about to say, but there were like four little bags with who knows what in it. And I'm like, Drew, like that's it. That's all, folks. Like that's it. Like where the rest of the stuff at? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why people always clowning how cheap you are and how you must not really have the coin because you always be skimping out. Like you couldn't do a little better than that. You couldn't give a little bit more. Like I know your coin is a little longer than them four little bags. Okay, I could be wrong. Then I thought about it and I said, you know what? Actually, something is better than nothing, right? And you know what? I also say, because I was going to say more, but I'm going to silence myself right here because I forgot also that Drew was taking care of them kids. All right. All by herself. And who knows, especially with the son's apple head, AKA Ralph, be trying to pull what her pockets are going through right now because we know he's trying to get her in the pockets, right? So, Drew, I'll say thank you for your donation. Okay. I'm sure the natives of Grenada appreciate it much. In walks Nazaline with her stuff in one little box. So she actually was doing worse than Drew. And she claims she has so much more, but she couldn't carry it all. I was like, yeah, okay, girl, show you though. Yeah, whatever you say. And I'm like, with the way you've been moving, especially at your last event, I'll believe you have more when I see it. And I'm inclined to believe that's totally it. What you bought is what it is. And even that was like a couple of rolls of toilet tissue and a box of Kleenex or two. Moving on. She asked the girls how they liked her event. And I'm thinking, you really have the nerve to draw attention to that mess? Like, what? Where you didn't even feed most of your people, gifted a few, and then didn't even have tissue paper placed with the gifts for presentation? How about you hide under a rock like it never happened? She claims it wasn't a representation of how she would have done things. And I'm like, okay, girl, whatever you say, Brett. You've been tacky as ever this whole season long. Okay. So I'm pretty confident it was an exact representation of how you do things. You just had someone to blame, which happened to be your event planner. But moving along, she asked about the situation with Drew and Shamia getting into it. And I'm like, but do we really care? Shamia didn't give much of a response anyway. Next, it was on to her and Porsha, and she made a key statement out of all of that, I feel like, which I don't even think she realized that she made. And that was when she said, people change and evolve. And I said, exactly, Shamia. And add to that, they also outgrow, which is why you need to move on. But apparently, present day, you did. So I'm not going to get on you too much about that. So Porsha meets Drew for lunch, and immediately I'm like, we ain't got a better scene to shoot somewhere across town or something. Nothing better than this. Didn't we kind of do this in a way of like, I feel like we've done this a million times, but we really haven't done it because I know they haven't really sat down to have a complete conversation. But I'm like, I just cannot. Why would the Bravo streets care about this at this point in time? Bravo was really good. Like, Portia says in her confessional, if they have a trip coming up, she doesn't want to be on bad terms with Joe. And I'm like, okay, Portia, well, then stop acting a fool because the only person out of your situation presenting the problem is you. Storyline attempt or not, okay? And I was ready to fast forward, y'all. So, that's just me keeping it a beam. But sidebar, I don't know if y'all peeped it like I peeped it, but I was like, that left side from our view that we were seeing of Drew, that hair, it just like the one side was combed down perfectly fine, but that other side was just kind of crimped and hanging over her shoulder. I was like, why, before they hit record on those cameras, didn't somebody just let me be able to see? That's what I get, but I'm gonna keep going. Why didn't someone comb that side of her hair down to make it all just flow and look presentable? Like the way it was just kind of scooched up on her shoulder and behind her shoulder. I don't know, just kind of something that I noticed per usual. I guess I noticed the things that I shouldn't notice, but just wanted it to be in place a little bit more than what it was. Anyways, my party peeps, I'm also keep this scene short and sweet Because Drew clocks Porsha for having an issue with her filming with Dennis, yet she filmed with Ralph. And while Porsha had a comment about that in her confessional, what was her direct response to Drew when Drew brought that up? Because obviously we know that was a good point, right? We already came to this conclusion prior to now, but now we're watching Drew present it, as a thing. What was her response, y'all? What was Portia's response when Drew said that? Because I saw absolutely nothing. And we got nothing. Now, I understand there might have been a time where it looked like, I think after that, Drew was looking at Porsha and there was like a voiceover. I think that was from Portia's confessional. So I wish maybe production would have given us what exactly Porsha responded with, but I'm feeling like since they didn't, that's because it wasn't anything to talk about, and she probably didn't address it. So to me, it looks like she skated and did a 1-2 step right on past that, like Porsha does. Furthermore, Porsha, I feel like, is delusional because she brings up the same old situation of Drew dating Dennis, but then dating some guy named Black, whatever. And Porsha said she was met with aggression and anger by Drew. And I said, Kay, when? When did that happen? Now, I know I've been watching, and I know at times I might kind of doze off just a little bit, but not too much when I didn't catch that. When did that happen? Like, what? Because what are we going to call the very first episode of your encounter with Drew when you called her a low down, dirty, shut your mouth? Remember that when you was acting all crazy up in white at Shamia's birthday party event? Yeah, okay. So since Portia's throwing this narrative out of Drew dating that Black guy, whoever he is, Drew says, well, I heard you were dating Future. And it's bleeped out, but we can, read the lips. And Portia denies it and says she doesn't even know him. Okay, claims that Drew's tone is combative. And so what if it is, Portia? She owes you quite a few combative tones because you've definitely had some disrespectful moments towards her. And I'm glad Drew called you out about it. I'm really glad she did as Portia's getting up to walk away. And these are the reasons, ladies and gent, what I tell y'all, I am not a fan of Porsha. I just can't rock with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all of that, or I should say, all of y'all who ride for her, okay, just keep in mind, she would treat you the same way that she's been treating these people that we see, right? Whether it's on a friendship level like Shamia or a less meaningful level like with Drew. It still will be a good time, like y'all like to say, but mixed with some trash, okay? What does she really bring to the table? But, anyways, I don't like how she operates, and that's just the bottom line. It's like you can do unto others whatever you want, but they can't do that unto you. Portia's just very I don't know, I just feel like feeble minded in her ways. She's one track minded. It's like it's not a what's good for the goose is good for the gander type vibe. But moving forward, we're at Kelli's house now. She's prepping with her daughters for her trip. They're having these little sidebar conversations. She lets them know she won't be able to take them to their first day of school since she'll be on the vacation, and that their Uncle Lamont, which is her good friend, did she mention he's someone in business? We might have seen him before. I don't know, y'all. I felt like I was seeing him for the first time. Maybe we've seen him at the restaurant with her. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, or he happens to be downstairs. And so he's gonna be the one to take them to school. So she goes down to give him the rundown of the schedule for taking the girls. He ends up sharing with her that he so happened to talk to her ex. That no good lowdown, allegedly, from what she shared with us, piece of mess of an individual, right? And so, she's trying to get the scoop on what the conversation was like. I guess more so just to see if what type of time he was on. Like, is he trying to do the right thing or what? And I'ma just ask y'all, where did Kelli get that man from? Where, oh, where, oh, where? I mean, a hot hole, scary mess from what she shared from the onset. But then again, just the fact what she shared too, but just reiterating again that he just doesn't even want to be present and do the right thing for his daughters. Like she said, he should be the one filling in the gap to take them to school in her absence. And he can't even do that. It's like he's not even making any type of conscientious effort to see his girls, even something as simple as that. I said, oh my, Ralph actually is better than him in this instance, right? So at least Ralph be with the kids. Now maybe it could be because he's in the basement and he's close, but I'm like, Ralph may not buy them Happy Meals and stuff, allegedly, and don't spend a dime like Drew said, allegedly, but at least he's spending some time. That accounts for something too. We got to give him that little bit of credit, right? I mean, some might even argue that spending time might be even better than providing the money. Time is just invaluable, and that's pouring into your child in a different way. But this man don't even want to do that, and I'm like, wow. Like, can we just not even hear about him anymore? I don't understand the point of even bringing him up. He doesn't even deserve that type of playtime, airtime, recognition, none of the things until he starts doing right by his daughter. He's just absolutely despicable, allegedly, from what we've gathered, right? So let's leave him in the dust behind underneath our feet and move forward. The ladies are all gathering at the airport where they meet up with Phaedra as well. And for some reason, correct me if I'm wrong, when she shaded Angela on being the oldest looking young woman she ever met, and hopefully her personality is more youthful than her face, I was like, y'all not a hood girls be that rubbed me the wrong way. Y'all, like, I did not like that. Like, how something in your spirit just be like, oh no, like you get a little tinge. Like, I was just sitting there chilling and just felt that little tinge, like, oh, I don't like that. Like, you don't even know her, Phaedra. Like, what are you like? Why are we starting this way? Angela, again, I agree with the masses, is still a beautiful woman at the end of the day. Where are we really going with this? Did someone tell you before you got there that shading her age has been a thing, or the ageism of it all has been a thing? Like, because other than that, why you act like she looks so old? I just, or did somebody tell you she was a certain age and then you saw her and I'm like, there's no way she could be that age? Like, I don't like, where's Phaedra, blasting off with this stuff off the rip before she even has a conversation with the lady? But probably, I think I felt that way too because I really like Angela. And I just, too, Angela even said something nice about Phaedra in her confessional as Phaedra shading her at the same time. And I was also thinking, easy now, Phaedra. Okay? Because in my opinion, you definitely looking like your age. Is that 56? 56, 57-ish, maybe somewhere around there. Now, I would say, girl, you look good for 56. Okay, but you're certainly not giving the 30-year-old look that you think you're giving in your head. You try to keep up with your look, but the face will continue to age as it has been. So stop. Okay, just absolutely stop. I don't know how old Phaedra was when we first met her. When Phaedra first came on the screen, even from the flashbacks I've seen, Phaedra looked like she was giving even then maybe 40. And I'm sure she wasn't even 40 then. I could be wrong, I could be right. But it's like, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't you look decent for what you're giving, but I don't know how young you think you look is my point of it all. And I'm gonna leave it like that, okay? I said, let me find out if Phaedra's gonna work my nerve already. Okay, Phaedra, let me find out. I'm trying to keep neutral in this, but I don't know. People keep saying she's so sweet because I know Kelli, I think, was it Kelli who said it while they were at the airport? It came out of one of their mouths, and I've heard that off of this show too. But I'm like, how, when she secretly shades people the way that she does, or is known to switch up on you real quick? Candy, Quad from Married to Medicine. So it's like, when you, okay, how do sweet and those type of behaviors, negative behaviors, mix? But I guess, y'all. So they arrive in beautiful Grenada, and Shamia's bag apparently is still in Atlanta. I was like, oh well, that was your consequence for acting a fool at Brit's last event. And I said, I know the Bravo fans. Okay, what's up, Bravotv? Was probably glad your bag got lost because they don't have to see all that. I'm getting tongue tied because they were like, they don't have to see all those tacky fashions and labels everywhere, here, there, everywhere, up, down, all around. They were able to take a break. And I'm surprised, actually, she wasn't even wearing anything with any labeling on the outskirts of it, was she? I think she just had, what was it, like it was a two-piece pants set, I think, like a, what's that color, like a dark bone kind of color. Did they even say bone? I know it's more khaki-ish color, whatever. Either way, or so I was like, yeah, I think the folks might be happy to take this break. So Phaedra, Drew, Angela, and Cynthia are riding in the car together to the place they'll be staying. And I forgot Cynthia was even on the show, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie till I saw her in the car. And I know we saw her a little early, but I don't know. Maybe she, again, what does Miss Cynthia give? I know Cynthia is the Cynthia Bailey, but we needed her this time around because why? I mean, we couldn't find another way to keep the old vibes of brewing with someone else. But I'm just like, okay, somehow I managed to notice her sitting over there in the back. Love you, Cynthia, but I'm sure you got other things you can be doing than this show at this point in time. And Phaedra, of course, gets the party started, asking what the beef going on is with the ladies. Angela says jokingly that Drew is the beef, to which Phaedra automatically starts coming for Drew in her confessional, making all types of faces, talking about, oh yeah, child. I mean, wasn't she in some shows or wasn't she on Soul Train? All this other stuff. I said, okay, yeah, I think you are gonna get on my nerves. Okay. I don't know if this Phaedra thing is gonna work for me. Y'all gotta let me know if it's working for y'all. I don't know. But Drew explains Shamia's interview with Big Tigger and gives a little rundown of that, which we already knew about. Nothing that exciting. The ladies get to the house and are greeted in the most fun way by the natives. You know, you have men that are painted and they're on stilts, dancing and flirting with the ladies and all the things. The way, you know, a party should get started and jumped off. And so they enter the house, and Kelli sets the intention that they're going to reset their energy, right? And since Kelli and Shami are hosting, they want the girls to get to know each other better. So they're setting them up, I guess, in a more so, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like, yeah, they're not going to pair them with who they're accustomed to being with, for lack of better words. And so apparently you have Shami and Kelli who will be bunking together since they're hosting. You have Britt and Phaedra, Porsha and Angela, Drew and Cynthia. Am I forgetting anybody else, y'all? I don't know. I don't think so. But anyways, Drew and Cynthia apparently have to duke it out over some bunk beds or another. They have to take shots. There's numbers on the bottom of the shots, which correlate the number to the room that they'll be staying in. Blah, 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 blah. So Shamia and Kelli have a little sidebar about some post Drew made, acting like she has beef with Shamia, but Shamia says when they're together, Drew's on some other type of time. Guys, I don't have anything to add in this situation because these beefs are so boring. I mean, are they not? I mean, fast forward to Drew having a chat with Cynthia. Cynthia discloses she has a man from Amsterdam who she's seeing that's much younger than her. I believe I touched on this like at the beginning of the season. Don't know if they're still together or not. Am I interested? More power to Cynthia. Hopefully, I do want Cynthia to be happy. So hopefully it is going well, and you know she's having the time of her life, and he's treating her well. So they get into the Drew and Porsha meeting up to talk of it all. They, you know, the whole filming situation, the things we've heard a million times that we just, it's not tickling our fancy. So Cynthia says they're pretty much even, right? Porsha filmed with Ralph, Dennis filmed with Drew. Let's just call it a wash, blah. The ladies are all at dinner now, taking or I should say, talking a bunch of nonsense. And here comes Kelli. Here comes Kelli, the new bone collector, the new Sheree Whitfields. Okay, honey. Remember back in the day, Sheree was the bone collector. And now, was she as good of a bone collector as Sheree? I'm gonna say no, but that's just me. So she says she wants to reset the energy with Shamia and Drew. And I said, why, Kelli? Like, you want to do that? What's the reason? What's it to you? You couldn't just sit there and be quiet like everybody else, because why? You got it started last time when y'all did the whole meditation at Portia's event. Like, you again? All right, let's pass the spotlight on to somebody else at this point, okay? And I said, can you reset your energy by learning how to stay out of people's stuff? That would be fabulous. And so they start talking about the lap dog and the information Drew feels Shamia took back that was incorrect about paying for Pilar's college. And now more Porsha and Shamia are their situation. And what about any of this was exciting or interesting? Again, I asked, but someone hit the dance floor and let me know because I'm lost. So here comes Kelli yet again, trying to get it going, saying Drew has a problem with everyone at the table except for Cynthia. Just as Drew said what, I said what right along with her. Because I'm like, so Kelli, then who would the people be? Because I ain't seen nothing. Nothing that hasn't been worked past either, at least. I mean, if you think of Drew and Britt, when they had that sit down of, Drew asking her if she was selling the cat or whatever she was doing, they squashed that. I feel like in that moment, didn't they? By the time their dinner was over, her and Angela are super cool. What's the issue, Kelli, with you and Drew? Okay, Porsha, that's one. Shamia, that's two. I'm just like, so, and Phaedra just got there. So aside from those two, how do you equate that to being everyone? Let me know what I'm missing, y'all. Again, maybe it could be in my boredom. Maybe I just wasn't as focused and attentive as I needed to be, and I've been missing the beefs. Okay, because they're again boring the hell out of me. But I still don't feel like I missed that. Anyways, so I'm like, listen, I'm about to start throwing some storylines to some of them. All right, because I can't. So Porsha and Drew are back on their bowl. They apparently end up squashing it though, allegedly, about the whole filming with Dennis thing, and Drew apologizes for doing it behind Porsha's back and yada yada yada. Then we get to Brett and setting her intentions straight. When she called Phaedra's name out, I said, okay, now where are we going with this? Because again, I say Phaedra just got here. She tells Phaedra that Apollo, which we know is Phaedra's ex-husband, and his wife came to her event by way of her husband. Her husband had invited him. But she just wanted to let Phaedra know that she doesn't know Apollo and never had a relationship with him. But what? Again, I say 1-2 for the microphone. 1-2 check. What? You felt compelled to say that for exactly what reason? What did that resolve? What, like I said, this girl, she's definitely giving like straight up. Okay, let me not say it. She's just like, why is Britt here? Why is Britt here? And even when we see the previews, y'all, for the next episode, I'm like, what is even happening in that episode? I said I might have to holler at y'all in 2 weeks. I might have to skip next week. Then I said, no, I'm not, because I definitely want to see y'all again. But here's the real $1 million question, y'all. I asked y'all, forget all of this, right? Forget this Atlanta. Where is New Jersey at? Where are our New Jersey girls? Jersey, stand up. What is we doing? Again, that's the girls to say. What are y'all doing? I haven't heard anything about filming. My sister-in-law sent me a picture last week of the girls out to dinner, of course, minus Teresa. But I'm like, but the cameras still weren't there. We ain't getting no type of upcoming season trailers, nothing. Have y'all heard anything? That's what I really want to know. That's what type of time I'm really on. I need Jersey. Jersey has me salivating. Jersey is my favorite by far. Always has been. They continue to give each and every season, so it will continue to be. Like, I'm done with all these scraps. Like, come on now. Come on. Come on. Like, I need the real deal Holyfield. I need some real entertainment, and I know y'all feel me on that. Let me get my DJ horn on that. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Like, come on. Quit playing, Bravo. Let's get the going. All right. I'm calm again, y'all. I don't know. I feel like we've already had the high of the Atlanta season, and that pretty much was the Kenya and Britt. And then that was it. Like, what has really been happening after this, y'all, that are wanting us just desiring more? Let me know. But anyways, y'all, that's the thing. We're at the point where the music is on, the dance floor is lit. I don't want you to be no prudent, hold up the wall. Get on the dance floor. Let me know your comments. do y'all feel like this episode was giving? And I know I've had to ask this more than once before, but I just want to make sure it ain't me and that I'm not doing my due diligence. Maybe I need to pay attention a little better. Maybe I need to get with it and try it again and get my excitement level up, but it's not there. Even with your girl Phaedra being ushered back in, what was she giving besides a whole bunch of shade that's going to annoy us? And I'm sure for the people who probably aren't thrilled about her coming back, I don't think this helped. Again, I could be wrong, but for the people who ain't feeling Phaedra, do y'all feel like she was giving anything this episode? It feels like it was given a little trying too hard too. Like I felt like it didn't even flow naturally. Like she just knew she had to hop back in and just get into it, get into the nonsense. Like, girl, no, ease your way back in, okay? And then we can take off from there. I understand you've been doing this, and you ain't new to this, you true to this, but you still have not been here for a minute. So let us get better acclimated with you again before you start acting crazy. So whatever, y'all. And I will say too, let me know what y'all think about this also, because I forgot to mention, in my opinion, I kind of felt like even Porsha bringing up the possibility of Drew dating someone else, this whole black guy or whoever, was pretty diabolical. Because again, this is a time where this lady is going through a tumultuous divorce with a man who is not rational and who is just blazing for her. Why would you put anything out there that could harm her proceedings? Like, I just, a whole new gentry. You out there? My party person, you out there? That's illegal evil, y'all. We got an attorney at the party. Isn't that a bad look, gentry? I mean, because I don't know what the laws are, and each state is different in terms of divorce. Some states, they pretty much mirror the same law, but some definitely do not. And I don't know what the requirements are in Georgia. How long do you have to be separated? Like, I believe here in North Carolina, I want to say it's a year. It's been so long, y'all, since I've had to look into any type of family law, divorce law type stuff. I feel like it's 6 months too, but I really think it's a year. Like, so, and it's like you can't really be talking about dating someone, or that's gonna mess up your whole ish. So I'm like, Porsha, why would you bring this up? Like why would you do that? And again, another fresh reason why I can't do her, y'all. I did not like that. And then did y'all also hear that Britt's husband is being sued? Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all, even that I scroll right on past. So if y'all know the reason, if it's a good reason, you'll have to let me know, okay? But either way, or y'all, I'll be back just for y'all next week to do this all over again. But I hope that somehow I said something, if you weren't in good spirits today, that put you in good spirits, that put a little smile on your face. I am definitely and most certainly sending you all, my party people, a social hug and some love from the bottom of my heart. I hope that y'all will come back to do it with me again next week for sure. And that we just keep growing and growing. Because again, y'all remember the goal for me at this point, because I have set a goal at this time, is to meet whatever threshold of subscribers that I need so I can start seeing y'all. I want to see y'all. And even if we stop there, and I don't get no more subscribers from there, I'm cool with that. But the way that you guys have supported me, especially you guys who have been hitting my dance floor since the beginning. I want to see y'all. I want to talk to y'all. Okay, so come on, like, bring a friend to the party. Like, let's make this happen. Okay, let's get this party litty. All right, that's a throwback. What was Liddy last used? I don't know. All right, y'all. I'm rambling. I need to go to bed. Okay. I hope that y'all have a most amazing rest of your week. Holler at me on the dance floor. Let's chat all the things. Until we meet again, y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed. And I'm out. Peace.